It's your man, PooNanners, your Texas caster and hype master.
And I'm Hermit, your one-stop headshot shop, and welcome to yet another episode of the Spawnpoint. I'm sorry we've been spotty recently, but sometimes real life gets in the way of virtual reality.
Tornadoes, man, they do all the things that you don't want them to do.
Like a tornado.
That's right. We are back with more VRML news and a new awesome game coming just around the corner that has all of us incredibly hyped up.
So hype.
So let's go ahead and jump right into talking about Pavlov.
Of course, though it might be some late news for some of you, the VRML Pavlov Autumn Championship finished just a couple of weeks ago with Team Thinking coming out for what a lot of people think is kind of an obvious win. Team Rec put up quite the fight, but in the end, it seemed like everyone in the crowd knew that Thinking was going to pull through.
The previous year's champion, Rec, right? That was the previous season champion?
I think so.
I believe so. Bro's team.
I'm pretty new to paying attention to the Pavlov scene. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, well, we covered it. We covered that they won the last season that they won. That's how long we've been doing this. We were, I'm pretty sure. Like the very
That's
first
what I get for being new blood.
Yeah, true. But he did say, Bro did tell me, he's like, yeah, we're not looking like we're going to win this season. And they did make it to the finals at least. But, well done. Well done to Team Thinking for knocking it out. As Kamikaze said, she's like, I didn't even watch. I knew he was going to win.
Yeah, I know. She's just like, it's just how it's going to be.
Yeah, so
the crowd knew.
Yeah, every match apparently finished with a ridiculous 1v3 clutch by Matt H to win the entire season. So good job, Matt, and the rest of Thinking. Y'all really deserve that title, especially, just clutch plays back-to-back. Here's that final clutch for anyone who didn't get to see it live. Let's take a look. A gander. 40 seconds.
1v2. 1v1.
Clippers.
No way. That cannot be more epic. Oh my god, I'm sorry.
Man, the nuts on that guy, right?
Yeah, right? He's always just on it. Like, whenever I watch Team Thinking, Matt is just rushing the point every single time. They're always just going for it. But other than that, in update news, Dave has been trucking along on Pavlov Lite for the Quest, if you've been paying attention to him on Twitter. He says that the Quest version is going to be absolutely free, but will be updated differently from the PC branch. So the PC branch can still do its own thing and be like the best Pavlov experience, while the Quest can go be free to play and be the most common Pavlov experience.
He's a one-man show, too, so I hope he doesn't spread himself too thin trying to manage both of those branches by himself.
Well, actually, apparently he has a team of about 10 other developers with him.
He's got 10 devs on his side now?
Yeah,
man, times have changed over the last 3 years.
Yeah, so they're going to split the branches, and Pavlov is just going to be perfect both sides. That's hopefully what we're going to do.
It's the same thing with the guys who developed Pistol Whip that we're going to get into later, the Cloudhead guys. That started with like one guy doing the gallery. Or gallery. I think it's the gallery. Episode 1 and 2. I enjoyed those. It's like very early experiences in 2016. I very much enjoyed those. And then all of a sudden, like I see his name is like, Cloudhead Games. He's got like a whole group of people with him. And I'm like, man, you blew up.
They came out of nowhere. Like I saw that they had worked on the hand experience, the Aperture hand experience. I'm like, what? Really?
Yeah, man, they've been around for a bit. So, but Dave has as well doing the Pavlov VR shooter, and he's working really hard on that one. I know that sometimes things can get a little bit rocky between the community and Dave and the league, but everybody eventually comes back together because they do love the game. He's also releasing new beta builds through his Twitter account, with the latest one about a day ago when he posted build 10. This also comes with an offline co-op zombies mode, just in time for Halloween. Which just happened, so make sure to check it out.
Yeah, I've been really looking forward to the zombies mode. We've been getting a lot of workshop content about zombies, and it's cool, but the native support will really help whenever it actually comes through for the main build.
That's right. Well, moving on to Space Junkies news, right? Something happened?
Yeah, right. In Space Junkies news, Season 1 is still trucking along, you know? This week we had a match between Spaceballs and Greenhearts, and we will see another match between the Space Cats and Space Junkhill.
Space
Junkhill,
Cats.
though, is one of the two teams with no losses, and between them and RSH, this new team that came out of nowhere for me, because I don't know of any of the players. They're a completely European team. But it seems like we have some really solid early season leaders. They're just coming out on top.
Yeah, and there's still many teams who haven't played or scheduled their first match. So if you're one of those guys, you should just get on it. The arena, as they call it, waits for no man, woman, child, or spacer.
It's not how it is. Now space waits for no person. But of course, Contractors is also in the early weeks of their season. We haven't seen too many matches from them yet because, you know, it's early on. We're still starting up all the leagues after all the championships. A lot of excitement there. Though all of my favorites from the season one have returned. Both Team Frutality and the Leftovers have come out in force with their sister team. The Leftover Legion and the Frozen Leftovers are also in the league. So it's quite a lot of leftovers.
Indeed. You know, you got to get as much food jokes in there as you can while you can.
It's required.
There's more leftovers in the field than an Amish Thanksgiving, as you would say. Several new teams, such as Meal Team 6 and Sin, have shown up as well. So the season should be really fun to watch with all the new shooters coming into play. There's a lot for VRML fans to keep up with, though, but I think that's like good issue to have, right? VRML's just taking off.
Yeah, well, you know, with all these new shooters, we need new casters and moderators so that we can get all this new content rolling out. And
join the team!
Going. You got to join the team. Be one of us, the cool kids.
One of us.
So if you love the game, want to help in any way you can, contact any Vrespawn caster, VRML caster. For some reason, I can't say it quickly.
It's
VRML caster. There we go. And they will be happy to point you in the right direction, of course. You can also check out the VRMasterLeague.com website for applications. So, you know, go there and fill one out.
Yep, taking all comers, unless you're like, you know, completely just absolutely a horrible human being. We'll take what we can get, or me. You know?
Yeah,
actually,
right.
no, I'm already casting for them. We just did the Synth Writers thing. So moving on to our artist spotlight, we're moving away from the big names and the stuff that you usually see in VR.
Yeah, well, I mean, in VR, we usually see like a lot of really awesome landscapes and really cool scenes that can draw on the viewer like nothing else. Like you see a piece and you're suddenly just in it. But VR art is really good with character art and portraiture. It's really good at like shaping up people and being able to like see a character in a way that you were never able to look at them before. So I found this artist called Zoe Roellin. I think that's how you pronounce her last name. I really hope I didn't butcher that. But she's an artist who does excellent 2D pieces and dabbles quite often with Quill and other really cool VR tools. So here's a quick sample of some of her work. And she does all these really cool critical role portrait pieces. Like, if I were to get any D&D character portrait by her, I swear that'd be like one of a kind, really great opportunity because I don't know anyone else who does D&D characters like this. Of course, we'll link to her website, Twitter page. That's Zoe Roellin.
Yeah, I love, absolutely love watching the artist take over the VR tools and do them. It's something I enjoyed in early game development when you do like sandbox games where you basically can have like a creative mode. Watching what people with art in their soul can do with fancy new tools that are giving them, and watching the fancy new art come out in VR, whether it be the that kind of 3D and with 2D tools like you have like things in Tilt Brush or Quill, and then also seeing what people can sculpt with things like Medium or blocks. It's absolutely just fantastic.
Yeah, it's really just the next frontier of art in general. Like I always talk to people about that and try to convince people over to our side. I always feel like a cultist because you always run into VR people. They're just like, "What do you do?" I'm like, "I do VR." What else do you do? Nope. I talk about VR. That's about it.
I do the VR. Yes, it is a little culty at the moment. That is true. That's why they call us evangelists, right? So Final Assault is still going strong in Week 7 of its season. By the end of the week, 10 matches will have been scheduled and played. These commanders just don't rest. The top from last season are still dominating with Not Sporks, Beachstrick, and Naoko taking the top 3 slots, and Manello, Heathen, and sadly it's Bradley holding up the backside. Take a look at this clip.
In the hot seat of war.
Let's
Similar strategies.
It's like, let's get your volume on. Go ahead and say that again.
I'm always super impressed by the commanders. The matches last like forever, and so it must get really hot and sweaty in like the headset whenever you're looking down constantly and trying to move all your units around. Though, whenever I watch these matches, I realize that similar strategies are dominant this season as the end of last season. So I hope there's going to be a big update to shake everything up and bring in some new commanders so that B-Strict doesn't become a high chancellor of everything.
We're getting news from the director. Apparently, there was a new change. You win a map with Oh, okay. So if you win a map, you cannot play that map in division matches again. Is that how it works?
Okay, well that's good at least. I wasn't aware of that rule. That
you got to repeat what he said.
I guess we could call that the map repetition rule.
Don't get to hear the director. But yes, we'll have more news about that later. Moving on to Pistol Whip, the game that we are all super excited about. We can't just tell the news without talking about this game. Obviously, the new kid on the block's got a couple of people shaking, I think, with some new updates we saw from some competitors. Everyone and their mom is posting clips of this game right now, and the leaderboards in the beta version are already getting really hot, with Pesky going after everything he can.
Pesky's killing it. No, I don't know how he's got rhythm in his soul like that. Like, you see him, you're just like...
He's got competitor in his soul.
No, dude, he wrecks it every single game. But I don't even... I've been trying so hard. I've been sweating, I've been squatting, I've been whipping, but I don't have a single top 3 score. I've got a couple of 4s and mostly a bunch of 14s. But honestly, like, Logan and Togue are just hard 25-8 whipping it all day.
Well, they're
top
getting
3s, top 1s.
They're getting lots of practice in and got lots of play. But my money on this, and I think this is going to be a sleeper when it comes in. Right now, Tripp is who's our director right now. He's also a competitive shooter. His mom's a competitive shooter, got a competitive shooting family. Guy has great 3-gun scores and times, but he is busy playing in the Onward League, so he doesn't have a lot of time to commit to Pistol Whip. He does play it, but not a lot of time. But once the championship for Onward ends, I think you may see him getting in there and trying to show some people up. He's like, man, I 3-gun all day. I got you guys.
No, I bet Tripp's going to wreck it. He's got a lot of skill, but I can't wait to see him try to do those body rolls, because if you remember seeing his original body roll clip, those were impressive. Love those.
And the thing to note about Pistol Whip is you got to make sure you don't skip leg day, because this one does require you to actually get down a lot more than normal. There's the games that have like barriers that come after you. You can do a little limbo, you do a little ducking, but this game actually
with Pistol Whip, you got to go deep.
You got
to go all the way to the ground. Like I that's why I can't do the 2 pistol mode, because if I have 2 pistols in my hands, I can't use my other hand to support me while I do like.
Yeah, we saw Nightfire going down on the ground doing like basically the Neo in the Matrix in his video.
Nightfire's a tall dude. He's got a lot of distance.
Yeah, he's exactly my height, 100%. Yeah. And he did that with the vest on as well, like a big tactical vest. Cloudhead really outdid themselves on this one, and we at Vrespawn are working hard on a serious hype train leading up to the release, so make sure to stay tuned to all of our channels for various contests and giveaways, including a tournament that we're just kind of last-minute planning to put the developers against the streamers. The game drops on the 7th, so get ready, guys.
Of course, a big thank you to everyone in Vrespawn who's already made all this awesome content. Toge, Proper D, all the people who've worked with us in the past.
Hey,
we love you guys. We love your content. Cutie Pop.
Don't forget the fearless stream team leader, Cutie Pop.
The fearless stream team leader. Honestly, you almost don't even have to mention him. He's just here with us in spirit.
Well, the biggest thing coming in from Toge and Cutie Pop, it's almost like they're running artistic direction or director of photography type stuff when other people are building their streams. You hear that from Nightfire and I believe also Tripp, that there's like, hey, what is the optimal angle? And Rage Sack is also jumping on this conversation. People are finding the optimal angle for Pistol Whip. There's an optimal one. Like, we already found that, like, if you show them below the waist where you see your feet kind of just sliding along the ground, it really does break the immersions. You don't want to bother.
Yeah.
Proper D's solution to that was just like, I have no legs, and
I'm just gonna cut off my legs. I'm a ghost now.
That's a weird artistic choice. It kind of feels a bit like Rec Room when you do that. It's just better just to shoot from like the knees up or something. But it worked. It worked for his video. But that's Proper D. He has all the special effects.
Post on Twitter. There was that edit of Mike from VRML that somebody was just like, your legs don't move. So
I saw the animated legs.
Fixed that for you, dude.
I saw that. It was absolutely brilliant. That right there is peak internet. That's good stuff, man.
Peak VR Twitter. But of course, I'm going to be including links of a few of my favorite Vrespawn videos. So, you guys can see our guys whipping hard, all that Technicolor gun mayhem, get everything you need right before the lead up. Because once it releases, you're going to be seeing so much of this game. I swear it's going to be worth it. Of course, the creators who have an early copy are going to start streaming on the 4th, and well, it's going to blow up for 3 days.
I think the most exciting thing about this game is that it's not only coming out on PC, but it will be available on the Quest as well.
Oh yeah. It's going to be all over. It's on like every store. It's on the Humble Bundle. It's
that's how most of us first played it, was on a Quest at OC6. So knowing that this game was going to be on the Quest immediately, I was just like, oh, this is going to be the next big thing. We're going to have ourselves a great time playing this game. The soundtrack is great. The gameplay is really fun. The competitive nature of it just kind of sells itself. It's absolutely fantastic. Well, that is it for this week's, everybody. Thank you to everyone who watched us this week. And be sure to catch us on Saturdays for more weekly VR news and content.
Of course, check out vrespawn.com for all of our awesome articles. Follow us on Twitter at vrespawn for updates and everything that we do.
That's right. Thanks always to all of the Vrespawn who we couldn't do it without them, and Cloudhead Games for letting us in the door early. I am PooNanners
and I'm Hermit, signing off on another virtually perfect day. Remember, don't walk and whip.
And
bad for your health.
Just a little note, special thanks to Trip for directing this episode for us and keeping us on task. He jumped in and actually helped us at last minute because we just got done with an Onward episode that we shot late. So thanks much, man. As you said, virtually perfect day, right?
Virtually perfect day every single time.